Who enjoys selling their body, their dignity, or their soul just to eat? Who enjoy stealing? Who enjoy poisoning the neighborhood, poisoning other people? Who enjoy not having a meal a day? Nobody. Lack of money is the root of all evil. Lack of money is the root of all evil. Yes, this video is about poverty, because there is nothing holy, there is nothing uplifting, there is nothing to praise when it comes to poverty. So for me, and I'm speaking from experience as well, because at some point I had to do certain things for money. I had to talk to certain people that I knew those people were not good for my spirit, they were not good for my mental health, but because they had the money, I had to talk to them, I had to be in vitals with them, I had to be in cause with them. But I always knew that, hey, this is just temporary. I have been in poverty situations, but I have never let my mind get to the poverty state. I consistently told myself, what I'm going through here is building me. What I'm going through here is teaching me. Because there is nothing good, nothing positive, nothing holy about poverty. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Because let's analyze it, right? I like to study. I like to understand. Because why not? Why not talk about how negative, how bad poverty is? So maybe that will wake your mind, or that will inspire somebody else, or that will motivate somebody else to actually learn about money, study about money. Maybe that will make somebody stop being scared of money, stop being scared of wealth, and stop having those negative emotions or negative attitude or negative thoughts when it comes to money. Saying things like money is evil, saying things like money corrupts people, saying things that wealthy people or rich people are evil. All those negative ideas, all those negative perceptions you have around money, what is doing you is making you repel money. It's making money not want to come to you, because you say money is evil, because you think money is bad. Well, if you speak bad about money, if you think money is evil, how can money come to you? And if money comes to you, it's not going to stay. It's going to come to you, and the next month, the next hour is gone. What? Lack of money is the root of all evil. So now, let's break it down. Think in the bigger picture. If you had money consistently, if money wasn't an issue in your life, if money wasn't something that you had to struggle with, how much morals, how much right things you will be able to do? How much right thinking, how much time will you be able to spend doing something that you love, or spend with your family? Because you have money. By the way, this video too is not a favor for greed. No. But poverty, not greed, is often the more direct, the more immediate, and the more dangerous evil. Yeah. Poverty is more dangerous than greed. I'm going to say it again. Poverty is more dangerous than greed, because when you are desperate, you will do anything for anything about anything. Desperation, when you are desperate, you are willing to do anything for anything about anything. Desperation breeds crime. Lack of access fuels oppression. Lack of access fuels Depression. Lack of access fuels isolation. Lack of access fuels not using your creativity, not using your genius. Lack of access fuels fear. Scarcity consistently breaks morality, breaks somebody being ethical. Scarcity, lack, will make you operate without even pausing to think, is this what I'm doing right? Is this what I'm doing positive? Because you are not thinking, you just want to survive. I gotta get the money. And when you are only surviving, you are not thinking critically, you are not thinking creatively. Because, I have to make this to the end of the month. I have to make it to Friday. Scarcity distorts morals. And I'm not going to stop talking about money. If you don't want to hear it, unfollow this account, stop watching my videos, because I'm all about teaching and reminding myself and everybody else that money is good, money is beautiful. Having access to money is not a negative thing, it's not a bad thing. Having access to money, having access to resources is a good way of living, is a good way of being here on earth. I do not romanticize poverty. I do not romanticize poverty. If anything, I rebuke poverty. I cancel poverty. I condemn poverty in all areas of anybody's life. And you might say, I already know people be like, oh, well, you're talking about money, but money does not buy happiness. Oh, poverty does? Let's talk about it. What are some things poverty buys you? Because poverty buys you certain things. Depression, anxiety, desperation, sleepless nights, fatigue, mentally and physically. Poverty does all of that to you. Okay, money buys you options. Money buys you freedom. Money buys you time, which is the most important quality we all have. It buys you time so you can do whatever you want to do, when you want to do it, in however way you want to do it. It's true. Money does not buy happiness. Neither does poverty. But I prefer to be the one rich. I prefer to be the one with the money than to be the one without the money. And I don't want only money for me. I want money for everybody. Because it's available to all of us. It's a resource, it's energy. So that's why I study. Because also ignorance is one of the ways to stay poor. Because when you are ignorant, I was working on that last night when I was talking about when you don't know, when you are ignorant about money, ignorant about financial literacy. You know what happens? I put it here. Unlearned money will always return to the system that conditioned you not to keep it. Unlearned money will always return to the system that conditioned you not to keep it. Study money. Financial literacy is a real thing. Financial literacy is a powerful thing. And don't come here with the excuse of, well, who is going to teach me how I'm going to learn? Google, YouTube University, ChatGPT? Or you're scared of using the tools that can allow you to educate yourself? Why? I use all the tools available to me to educate myself, to see perceptions, to see examples, to see other ways, to see explanations. I'm not going to sit here and wait on somebody else to come and teach me. I'm going to rise every single day and teach myself and educate myself about what I care about. The same way you go on Google, on YouTube, and you start watching movies, or you watching memes, you can also go and watch movies about financial literacy. You can go on Google and learn. How can I keep $100? How can I multiply $100? What can I create? What can I build? Which, by the way, I have made multiple videos talking about money, ways of investing, ways of circulating money. I'm going to use Google, ChatGPT, books, podcasts, YouTube, all the tools available to me. I'm going to use them to elevate myself, because that's what those tools are here for. Those tools are here to uplift us. Those tools are here for us to use it. So I'm going to use it, and you can use it too. Google is free. YouTube is free. ChatGPT is free. So why not use it to educate yourself? Why not use it to empower yourself? Or but you prefer to just, somebody else will do it for me. Somebody else will give me the money, the idea, the encouragement. Stop waiting for somebody, because that's another thing that keeps people in poverty. Waiting on other people. Somebody else will feed me. Somebody else will support me. Somebody else will uplift me. Somebody else is going to educate me. Somebody else is going to grind for me. Somebody else is going to always looking at somebody else, somebody else, somebody else, somebody else. If you give somebody else the power to educate you, you also give that somebody else the power to keep you dumb, to keep you ignorant. That's why you have to take the control of your life in your own hands, your destiny, and remind yourself that I'm not going to blame nobody, because I know I am responsible of my destiny. And because of that, I'm going to make sure my mindset, my habits, my behavior is aligned with where I want to go. And this idea that, I'm born in poverty. Okay, how many people were born in poverty, but they found a way to become wealthy, to become rich? And for sure, they have leave some clues, because success, because riches, because wealth and poverty as well leave clues. How many wealthy people do you know? Maybe from where you are from, or maybe not from where you are from, because money doesn't have a race. How many rich people do you know? How many wealthy people do you know? Have you take time to read their books? Have you take time to Google if they have any interview or any podcast? Have you take time to ask ChatGPT if there is any lessons they left on economy, lessons on success, lessons on investment? You just see the money that they have. You see the mansions, you see the cars, you see the house. I do too. But more than that, I go and read the books they publish. More than that, I study. How do they treat people? How do they talk about money? What is their mindset? What is their habits? I study that, because that's what make them all that money. You see the mansions, you see the bling bling, you see the millions, you see the fast cars, you see the private jets. Now, study. How did they make that money? What allowed them to not only make the money, but to keep the money? Not only keep the money, but circulate the money. Not only circulate the money, but invest the money. And you study, just like I'm doing. Nobody came and be like, you know what, I'm going to teach you financial literacy. No. My curiosity, maybe begging for money, maybe in the position in where I cannot even afford a meal. I can't afford something I like or something I enjoy because I don't have the money. Do you know how much that hurts? Poverty hurts. It hurts. And because it hurted me, every single day I'm consistently making sure I don't go back. I'm consistently making sure I'm not in the position in where I don't have a meal. And for that, I have to work deeper on myself. I have to go within and figure out what are my attitudes, my belief, my feelings around money, around wealth. Because if anything in me still says that money is evil, money is bad, money is ugly, money is not going to come to me. So instead of me hustling hard, I hustle deep. I go within myself. I go within myself to figure out what is it, so I can remove any part of me that resonates with poverty, that resonates with lack, that resonates with not having. It's not fun to be poor. It's not fun to not be able to have a meal a day. Do you know how much that hurts? That pain. That pain got me working from 4 a.m. to 4 a.m. That pain got me on birthdays cleaning people's house, painting houses, just because of poverty. So I'm making these videos to myself and to anybody else out here that is in poverty and think that that's the only way. No, there is a way out. But you have to pull yourself out of it. Nobody's going to come. Here I am educating you. Here I am motivating you, giving you information. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to come to your house and make you positive and make you disciplined and make you consistent. I'm not going to come to your house and open ChatGPT for you and start doing resources for you. No, you got to do it. What does poverty lead to? Another reason why I say lack of poverty is the root of all evil. And this quote is not originally from me. I heard it from Reverend Ike. I also heard this quote from George. What does poverty lead to? Poverty leads to stealing to survive, selling your body, your dignity, your soul just to eat, exploiting others to climb out of lack, generational trauma and survival-based thinking, choosing survival over ethics, choosing survival over morals, choosing the dollar over doing what is right. Poverty leads to losing dreams, to depression and debt. Because imagine if that they're telling you, oh, you had to pay this by, you had to pay, you owe somebody money. Now your mind, instead of focusing on creating, using your creativity and pursuing your dreams and your goals, your mind is so, I gotta find the money. And here you are. So are you seeing what the absence of money does? So are you understanding what poverty leads to? And it's a common thing. Last year I used to do Bible prosperity. Every Sunday I would go on my TikTok account and talk about money. That money is a beautiful tool. That money is a beautiful research. Doing affirmations on money. Talking so good about money. People are like, oh, you're so materialistic. Why are you teaching people against the word of God? God didn't say to love money. God wasn't smelling money like you do. And the good thing about me is that I know who I am. And I know what I stand for. So that, well, if you believe in God and you say God is your father, right? And God is the creator of the whole world. So the whole world belongs to God. So you, as the child of God, why are you poor if your dad was not poor? And Christians have come in debate with me, which is okay because every person is allowed to have their own opinion. You don't have to even agree with me. I don't have you to think like me. I want you to think like yourself and for yourself. Because at the end of the day, who you become or don't become is not because of me. They will come and be like, oh, Jesus didn't have a Rolls Royce. He didn't live in mansion. He didn't have luxury clothes. I was like, Jesus? Which Jesus? Because as far as I know, Jesus, the clothes Jesus wore at that time, that was the clothes that rich people wear. If Jesus was poor, how come Jesus provide food for other people? How come Jesus provide employment for other people? If you are poor, you cannot even give yourself a job. How can you give other people jobs? Every person who follow Jesus, they never once they lack money. So if Jesus was poor, how come he was able to provide for other people? And as long as you have this conception, this idea, this understanding that this as long as you accept that, yeah, Jesus was poor, there's going to be part of you that's going to be still seeing poverty as holy. There is nothing holy about lack. There is nothing holy about not having a meal. Jesus was not poor. And by the way, Jesus had everything he needed when he needed it. Somebody who's poor doesn't have nothing. Jesus was not poor. So if you consider Jesus your father or God your father, well, your father was not poor. So why are you okay with being poor? It's not your fault if you are born in poverty, but it's your fault if you die in poverty. I used to hear people say, I was like, what are they talking about? Because I was ignorant. Not ignorant, I didn't have that level of awareness and consciousness back then. I'm like, oh, okay. Lack of money is the root of all evil. Because you tell me, will people still commit evil if they were not starving, if they were not suffering, if they were not struggling every single day? Answer in the comments. Will people still commit evil if they were not starving, if they were not suffering, or if they were not struggling every day? Lack of money is the root of all evil. Why do people join gangs? Why do people become gang members? Why do some people poison their own neighborhood with drugs? Why do some parents skip meals so their children can eat? Why are jails and prisons full of poor people and not the powerful, not the wealthy, not the rich? Again, why are prisons, why is jail full of poor people and not full of the powerful people, the rich people, wealthy people? Because lack of money is the root of all evil. Another question for you. Is lack holy, or has it just been misframed? It is most righteous to be poor or to be prosperous and generous. Is it more righteous to be poor or to be prosperous and generous? If you have the answer to these questions, put them in the comment section. In the society, or if you are anybody watching this video, or you know anybody that romanticizes poverty or try to convince you or tell you that there is anything good about you being poor, about you struggling every single day to have a meal, that person is lying to you. Because the same people who romanticize poverty are the people who ignore the suffering poverty is causing, who ignore the damage poverty is causing. And I come to the point where I talk to religious people, and as they are talking, the way they are thinking, they kind of agree, or they see poverty as holy. They have this idea that, well, you know, the less I have, the more God loves me. And if I have more, God does not love me. Which is false, because God doesn't love you more or love you less depending on your material position. No, because God's love is not conditional to your bank account. God has loved you, God still loves you, and God will forever love you. But if you see poverty as holy, you're going to stay right there. Because you see it as a good thing, as a positive thing. And we see things where poverty is looked as something noble. Something to, oh, he's going through that. Oh. As something noble, something to look at it with delicate as of being poor is a badge of honor. And people come with comments like, he might be poor, but he is righteous. Blessed are the poor in spirit, right? Again, Bible verses. The love of money is the root of all evil. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Because poverty instantly immediately is going to make you do something evil. Greed? And they're going to tell me Bible verses like, it's easier for a camel to go through the eyes of a needle. Again, each interpretation you do of a Bible verse, or that somebody does of a Bible verse, that's just a reflection of their consciousness. That's simply a reflection of their mental state. I open the Bible and my interpretation are always uplifting, positive, wealthy, rich, educational. Because to me the Bible is a book that I can use to liberate myself and liberate other people. But somebody else will take the Bible and oppress you and make you hate money, resent money, cancel riches, cancel wealth. As of God wanting you to be poor. If anything, God wants everybody to be rich. Because who's that wanted the kids to be poor? And I have it here too. The Bible verse that said that the blessings of the Lord makes rich, and he has no sorrow with it. The blessings of God. So again, God wants you to be rich. God wants you to be wealthy. No matter if you are religious or not. I'm not religious, but I have a relationship with God. Religious, cultural, and political, and corrupt, and enslaved, and colonized system have sold the idea that poverty is moral, that poverty is noble, that poverty is humble, even that poverty is sacred, while holding wealth as something bad. Oh, money is evil, money is nasty, money is dirty. Wealthy people, rich people are evil. If you have those messages in your mind, you know what that does to you? It keeps you poor. It keeps you scared of money. It keeps you in scarcity. It conditions you to accept suffering and to not accept wealth. It conditions you to stay in struggle, thinking that it's spiritual, thinking that you living in lack, thinking that you being poor, thinking that you struggling or you suffering is spiritual. Don't get me wrong. In your struggles, there is spiritual guidance. But struggles don't come in your life to stay in your life, or to keep you less, or to keep you poor, or to keep you down. Struggles come to uplift you. Struggles come to give you a certain wisdom, certain information that will allow you to grow and evolve. In the Bible, when we talk about the period of wilderness, that was a period of formation, not a period of stagnation. That's why, even though if you were born in poverty, it's your fault if you die in poverty. Because whatever years, whatever month you invest in poverty, or you are in poverty, use that as formation. But to die in it, no. No. Again, those that romanticize poverty or see poverty as noble, as humble, they are ignoring the suffering poverty causes. I'm not going to know the suffering poverty have caused in my life. But guess what? I'm using now that suffering, that pain, to teach, to empower, to uplift. While some people will tell you that poverty is noble or humble, or poverty is a virtue, and the same people that can make you think, or can make you feel, or can make you agree to the poverty, those same people or those same systems or those same voices, what do? You find people in environments where there is underfunded schools, poor neighborhoods, too much police, but less assistance, less protection to certain communities. Poverty is not romantic. Poverty is not noble. There is nothing good, there is nothing positive, there is nothing uplifting, there is nothing encouraging, there is nothing virtuous about poverty. It's not romantic, it's not poetic, it's not a lifestyle choice that you were meant to die in it. It's a form of economic violence because poverty motivates violence, motivates crime. And I used to go to the church, especially back home, and they will give you messages like they will tell the people who glorify poverty, the people who glorify poverty or who can make you think or feel that it's okay if you have less or it's okay if you are poor, are the same people who have access, power, money, and privilege that you don't have. Churches in where preachers will tell you, what do they say? Store up treasures in heaven. Don't worry about it. You're going to have a good life in heaven. You're going to have your blessings in heaven. You're going to have your reward in heaven. While that same pastor is driving the latest car, is driving Bentleys. While that same pastor, his kids are going to private school. While that same pastor, their bills are consistently paid. While that same pastor never starves. But that pastor is telling you, oh no, you wait. I'm going to live my luxury here. I'm going to live my good life here. And you're going to live your good life later. Politics too. They will come with messages like, oh, pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Yeah. There is part of truth in that. It can be a message to uplift you, because I think Booker T. Washington used something similar, that pull yourself by your bootstrap, which means bring yourself up, take care of yourself, allow yourself to keep going forward. But Eddie Brown said something. I was in an interview I watched recently. He said that if you tell somebody to pull yourself up by your bootstrap, what if the person does not even have bootstraps? Poverty. We keep going. And the truth is that lack is not holy. Poverty is not holy. There is nothing humble about poverty. No. Poverty is not immunity. Scarcity is not sacred. Struggle is not salvation. What do you mean I have to struggle? Struggle till I die? Oh no. No. I was not born to suffer to prove my worth. You were not born to suffer to prove your worth. And by the way, you are not closer to God because you are poor or because you are rich. You are not closer to God because you are closer to starvation. If you are closer to starvation, you are closer to death. Because how many people die of starvation? So are you now seeing the consequences of poverty? And why is in your best interest to not be poor? Or to not live in lack, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally? And I already know somebody will be like, oh yeah, you're talking about money. Money is the issue. Money is not the problem. Money does not have emotions. Money does not have feelings. Money does not care if you purple, white, brown, green, blue, black. Money doesn't care about you. Let me put it that way. But you have to care about yourself enough to get you money. Money is not the problem. Money is a beautiful tool. I enjoy having money. I appreciate money. I value money. I love money and money loves me. I bless my money and my money bless me. Those affirmations I just said, there is somebody who's going to be triggered. Oh my God, she said she loves money. Why? How did she? Oh my God, she's touching money. She's showing money. She's sniffing money. Yes. Why? Because I'm conditioning myself to feel safe with money. Why? Because I'm conditioning myself that I can have money doing something that I love. Talking right now as I'm doing right now, I enjoy doing this. And I am doing it because I enjoy it. And every time I see the money, it's a reminder with me that I am one with money. So having money in the microphone as I do right now, I do it on purpose. So whenever you're going to somebody else holding money in the microphone, just know where they got it from. Here, have you ever saw somebody holding, talking, and making the wrap of the microphone money, real money? I never seen it. So I choose to do it because why not? Why not speak while showing a beautiful tool, which is money, a beautiful resource, which is money? Why not? Money is not the problem. Money does not have emotions. Money is neutral. It goes where it's appreciated, where it's valued, where it's circulated. Why are you scared of money? And the message is right. Well, if I have money, well, the people, I'm going to change. Well, if I have money, the people going to treat me different. If I have money, money does not change nobody. Money reveals, money multiplies, money increases the volume of who you are, of who you truly are. If you are a bad person without money, you're going to be a bad person with money. If you're a good person without money, you're gonna be a good person with money. Right now, I know myself, and I'm a good person. I'm a great person. I love me. And I'm making videos in my room showing money. This money. So whenever you're going to see me making a video showing stacks of money, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised. Why? Because I was already doing it with what I have. Because I'm using money to inspire, to educate, to uplift, to teach, to remind your nervous system that is safe. You are safe with money. You are trusted with money. It's good to touch money. It's good to see money. It's good to talk about money. I remember when I was growing up, money conversation, I couldn't talk about money. If I did, I was getting beat up. I was getting punished because I was talking about money. Are you ashamed of having money? Are you ashamed of wealth? Are you ashamed of success? Money is not the problem. Money is a tool. Money is a resource. You want it? Talk good about it. See yourself with it. Trust yourself with it. Affirm yourself that you are one with money, one with the resources. And I made a video about it, which I got canceled too by a lot of people. A lot of people stopped following me after that video, which is okay because I know what I stand. The pastor, next time a pastor wants to speak down on money, or will tell you don't worry about money, don't do nothing that has to do with money, or they want to avoid the money conversation, let that be the last time you talk to that pastor. Because the pastor will tell you, oh, don't worry, you don't have to, you're going to enjoy in heaven. While that pastor is having heaven here on earth, that pastor wants you to have heaven in heaven. No, You too can have heaven here on earth. Why not? Those pastors are telling you, sacrifice for you, luxury for me. While you are experiencing hell on earth, that pastor is experiencing heaven on earth. And they're going to use Bible verses like, store up treasures in heaven, they say. But the pastor stores treasures in design closets, luxury cars. The kid going to private school. The pastor drives a Bentley, lives in a gated community with access to hospitals, access to banks, access to safety, access to security. So next time a pastor tell you that, oh, don't worry about money, store up your treasures in heaven, ask them, well, pastor, if we are supposed to wait until we go to heaven to prosper, to be wealthy, or to have material positions, or to have a good life, why are you not waiting with me? Any pastor that is not teaching you financial literacy, any pastor that is not teaching you on the beauty of having money, on the positive of having money, on how good it is for you to have money, on how good it is for you to be prosperous, ask them, pastor, if we are supposed to wait until heaven to prosper, why are you prospering now? No, don't prosper, pastor. Come wait in the poverty with me. Let's wait till we go to heaven together to prosper. They are going to tell you to wait to go to heaven while they are enjoying their heaven here on earth. And they're going to use verses like the root of money is the love of money is the root of all evil. Verses like store up treasures in heaven. While you are storing up treasures in heaven, they are storing up and enjoying treasures here on earth. Next time a pastor is teaching, speaking, or sharing something that makes you scared of money, scared of having money, enjoying money, investing money, touching money, smelling money, praising money. But the funny thing is that same pastor is the one that is had the nicest car. The kids are going to private school. That pastor have designer clothes. That pastor lives in a gated community, but they want you to wait and go and enjoy that life in heaven. Next time any pastor is trying to teach you against prosperity, against money, against success, against wealth, ask the pastor, if we are supposed to wait until heaven to prosper, why are you prospering? Don't prosper, pastor, wait with me. And then for the politicians, or for anybody who will come you with a message of pull yourself up by your bootstraps, if you have bootstrap. But that same politician was burned everything serve. That politician talk about grit and grind, while they are perfectly sipping $1,000 cocktail, traveling first class, having a great massage, and they are telling you to pull yourself by your bootstraps. They are living in a mansion, furniture like gold, and they are writing policies for the poor and beneficiating for those that are poor. So to all the religions that will want to come here and talk to me about, oh, don't talk about money, money is evil, money is bad, speak for yourself. Money to me is good, money to me is great. I'm not going to wait for heaven to prosper. I'm going to prosper right here, right now. Because I can, because I choose to. Whatever you choose is on you. Yeah. Poverty is the root of all evil. Poverty is the root of all evil. And because also, if you are a believer of God, one of the purposes as believer of God that we have is to expand the kingdom of God. How do you expand the kingdom of God? By doing good to others, right? But if you have no money, in the other hand, if you have money, you can build schools. You can feed people. You can write books. You can travel the world and offer jobs to other people. That's another thing why I'm happy and grateful for rich and wealthy people, for people who start their own businesses. Because what? They're going to hire somebody else, and because they're going to pay that somebody else can feed their family. So it's good. That is positive. That is rich and wealthy people. That's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. I get inspired by rich people. I get motivated by rich people. Because they have the resources to help others and to help themselves. Who wouldn't want that? If any of you enjoys poverty, you're going to stay right there. If any of you see poverty as holy, you're going to stay right there. And if you keep going to those churches where they preach you against money, you're going to stay poor right there while your pastor is prospering. And the church becomes a business. When? The church becomes a business when the offering plate becomes an ATM for leadership. When guilt is weaponized to keep people loyal in lack. When you are told to show your last $20. Hold on, pastor. Did you say money is bad, money is evil? Well, you speak so bad about money, but you ask for money in the church? Ask questions. You are allowed to. They tell you to show to give them your last 20, right? But will they show in your dreams, goals, tuitions, rent? Will they? I don't know. By the way, you reap what you sow. And this is not I'm me being against tithing. No. I'm a favor of giving money to people, organizations, entities that believe in doing good with money. That believe that money is a good thing, money is a positive thing. Not give my money like, oh, money is bad, money is evil. Okay, I'm going to keep it to myself. You said it's bad, then give it to me. No, you had to tie your last 20. But when you have an idea, when your rent is due, when you have dreams and goals, does that church support, uplift, or empower your dreams or your goals? Just asking. And as I was studying poverty, the message is clear. Stay broke, stay obedient, stay suffering, stay grateful, stay struggling, stay faithful. And if you dare to dream bigger, if you dare to think for yourself, be ready for people to call you crazy, arrogant, greedy, disrespectful, prideful, carnal. Oh, because I'm allowing myself to think big. Because I'm allowing myself to dream big. Because I'm allowing myself to see something better, something good, something positive for my life. Because I want to live good. I'm being called prideful. I'm being called carnal. I'm being called materialistic. I'm being called arrogant. I'm being called cocky. I'm being called greedy. Who doesn't want to live good? Please raise your hand. No matter who's going to talk, I'm getting the money. No matter who's going to talk, I'm going to dream as big, as high as I want, and dare to go for my dreams, dare to go for my goals. Mine as well. Mine as well. So, almost done. I'm making sure I can share all the teachings, all that I have been studying on this subject of poverty, because I'm truly fascinated. I'm fascinated on speaking about poverty, because when I speak about poverty, I also use that time to teach and preach about how good money is, how good having money is. Money is a beautiful tool. Money is a beautiful resource. Nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be scared of, nothing to condemn. It's good for you to be rich. It's good for you to be wealthy. Go get the money. Yes, please do. Why not? You were not born to suffer, to prove your worth, to prove your value. You are not closer to God because you are closer to starvation. If you are closer to starvation, you are closer to death. That God didn't create you for pain, for misery, for tears. He created you, He created me for purpose. Yeah, all of us have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you don't know who you are. That's identity crisis you are having. So for those that told you that to be broke was to be holy, that struggle made you chosen, that if life was too good, you must be doing something wrong. And all those messages, at some point, those messages used to live rent-free in my head. If life is too good to you, you must be doing something wrong. As if you had to suffer. It's a mandate for you to suffer. If you are at ease, if you are at peace, if you are smiling, being cheerful, being positive, there is something wrong. If I even find people who find a problem because somebody is positive. Oh, you're being too positive. What do you mean I'm being too positive? Would it be better if I'm any type of negative? Well, I prefer to be over positive than to be the slightest negative. How many of those messages are in your head? That to be poor is to be holy. To be broke is to be holy. That struggle made you a chosen one. That the more you struggle, the more you suffer, the more God loves you. If life was too good, you must be doing something wrong. That's why lies like rich people are evil. As of how many poor bad people have you met? I have a lot. How many rich good people have you met? I have a lot. Because money is not a revelation or an indicator of your character. Again, money simply increases the volume of who you are already. So this idea that rich people are evil, you have to remove that from your head, because as long as you keep thinking that rich people are evil, if you get a chance to become rich, you are going to do something evil to get rich, because you believe and you agree subconsciously that to be rich is to be evil. And you see that money is evil, money is nasty, money is dirty. And you will find a way to do something nasty, something dirty, something evil for money. Why? Because you have the subconscious belief that money is bad, money is evil, money is nasty. Are you understanding then why it's important for you to speak good about money? For you to feel good about money? Because if you think good about money, you do good things with money, for money, and about money. And if you see money as negative, you do negative things for money, about money, and to money. If life is going good for you right now, if life is too good for you right now, enjoy. Congratulations. You deserve it. You are doing something good. You are doing something right. And because you are doing something right, because you are feeling right, thinking right, life is going this good for you. Go ahead, enjoy. Congratulations. Suffering is not is not a poverty is not proof of purity. Riches is not pure of purity as well. Starvation is not a shortcut to salvation. Starvation is not a shortcut to salvation. That, hey, you know what? Let me starve. Let me have less things so I can go to heaven. And there are people who actually believe all I'm saying right now and they act on it. Well, if I have more, God love me less. No. I just want the bare minimum. Because they fear money. They fear themselves with money. Then the issue is not money. The issue is you. Is your mindset. Is your consciousness. Then maybe that's why God is making sure there is no money into your life. Because God knows that if God gives you money, you're going to waste it. Or you're going to invest it into things or into people or into experiences that are going to destroy you. So by God keeping you poor, God is protecting you. Me, I used to make the mistake of praying for asking God for things, praying God for things. But now, I pray more to God to make me the person that will receive the blessings He has for me and won't waste it. I'm praying to God to build me into the person who can manage, who can multiply, who can circulate, and who can take care of the blessings God has in store for me. Again, I'm praying for me to change, not for God to change, for me. That, hey, God, recreate me, change me, God, work in me, God, so I can be the person that circulates, take care, maintain, multiply the blessings you're going to send my way. Yeah. Man, I think I have that prayer somewhere here. I write a lot. I enjoy it because I like to reflect. I like to see what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. I have it here. Here. If you can see it. So on top it says, God, prepare me for what I have been asking for. Don't just give me the blessings. Build me into someone who won't waste it. God, prepare me for what I have been asking for. Don't just give me the blessing. Build me into someone who won't waste it. And as I said earlier, the same way I can use the Bible, because every time I have used the Bible to teach or to talk, I always take verses that uplift, that empower, that motivate, that educate, that elevate. Why? Because that's the state of my consciousness. The same way somebody can use the Bible to oppress you, somebody else can use the Bible to liberate you. The difference is not the Bible. The difference is the person holding the Bible. And how many scriptures has been used so you can scare money, so you can reject money, so you can cancel money. And scriptures like, yeah, the love of money is the root of all evil. No. Lack of money is the root of all evil. And at this point of this video, you already have multiple reasons. Yes, Jesus fast, yeah. But he also fed 1,000 people. Yes, Paul was shipwrecked in terms of Paul, right? What Paul did, yeah. But he traveled with purpose, not poverty. I said at the beginning, no single person who followed Jesus was poor. Yes, the early church shared all things in common, but not in lack. They live in divine sufficiency. Divine sufficiency, divine provision. That you trust that your mind, your heart, your mouth is aligned with prosperity, with wealth, with money, with love. Since it's aligned with it, you're going to receive it. And I mentioned the mind because mind is power. Mind is everything. Whoever controls your mind controls your life. Whatever runs your mind runs your life. As simple as that. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So if those perceptions, those understanding, those ideas, those theories on poverty are still ruling your mind, then you are easy to control. And when you are easy to control, anybody can convince you that struggle is holy, that poverty is holy, that lack is holy. Anybody can convince you that poverty is your portion, that you are meant to be poor. It's good that you are poor. Go ahead. If this video is resonating with you, put it in the comments. And I feel deeply about subjects that involves money or the lack of money, because I have seen myself do certain things just to have money. That if I have the money, I would have not done those things. And no, I'm not beating myself down. I'm simply reflecting. I already forgive myself. I already heal. And I already outgrow that version of myself. So now I'm like, well, I'm thinking for myself, but maybe there is somebody else out there that the lack of money is having them do things that they don't want to do. So I'm making those videos to educate, to uplift, and to motivate that, hey, money is good. Money is beautiful. You can be rich and still be a good person. You can be wealthy and still be a good person. That money is energy. It's available all the time to you. But you gotta believe it. And see yourself with it. And agree with money. Agree with wealth. Agree with prosperity. The same way you have agreed with poverty for so long. You have agreed with lack for so long. You have agreed with misery for so long. Start agreeing with prosperity. Start agreeing with wealth. Start agreeing with money. Start agreeing with prosperity. Divorce lack. Divorce poverty. Divorce misery. Divorce scarcity. Marry wealth. Marry prosperity. Marry abundance. Marry money. Make love to money. Make love to prosperity. Make love to wealth. Make love to abundance. If you want it. Only if you want it. If you made it this far to this video, put in the comments what have you learned from this video. If it didn't make sense to you, it's okay, because it makes sense to me. So I'm sharing something that I want to see out here. I'm sharing this because why not? Why not make this video as I want to make it this way, talking like this, moving like this, making it like this? Why not? Stop thinking that suffering is a badge of honor. Stop thinking that poverty is a badge of honor. You don't earn God's love or God's favor by being broke, by being poor. You don't earn God's love by staying poor, staying broke. You don't become more divine by being less fulfilled. Talking about fulfilled, I've been writing. Did you see this right here? It says, I am now wealthy, happy, healthy, free, and fulfilled in my divine calling. And the word fulfilled just came out in this video. Coincidence? No. You don't become more divine by being less fulfilled. Matter of fact, the more fulfilled you are, I am fulfilled. I am wealthy, happy, healthy, free, and fulfilled in my divine calling. The more fulfilled you are, the more divine you are. You don't get closer to heaven by living through hell or by going through hell. No. You don't get closer to heaven by living through hell. You get closer to heaven by living as heaven. Let this video be a reminder to you. Let me be the one reminding you that you are allowed to be rich. You are allowed to be wealthy. You are allowed to have money in abundance. Not only money to pay your bills, but money to travel, money to enjoy, money to give, money to share, money to invest. Not only, I just want enough to go by next month or next year. Stop lying. You want more than enough. So ask for more than enough. Speak for more than enough. I want overflow of money consistently. I want to have so much money that my grandkids never have to taste poverty. Physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, nothing. You are allowed to be rich. You are allowed to be prosperous. You are allowed to thrive. You are allowed to win. You are allowed to live a life with money, appreciating money, loving money, enjoying money, celebrating money. Yes, you are allowed to. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of ease. You are worthy of relax. You are worthy of joy. You are worthy of abundance. You can be spiritual and successful. You can be spiritual and rich. You can be spiritual and abundant. You can be spiritual and prosperous. You can be spiritual and wealthy. You can be anointed and rich, anointed and abundant, anointed and wealthy, anointed and successful, anointed and prosperous. You can be faithful and flourishing, faithful and rich, faithful and prosperous, faithful and wealthy, faithful and successful, faithful and prosperous. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because why not? If I had to choose, I choose to be wealthy. Why not? If I have to choose, I choose to be happy. Why not? If I have to choose, I choose to be successful. Why not? If I have to choose, I choose to be myself. Why not? If I have to choose, I choose to be confident. Why not? If I have to choose, I choose to be free. Why not? If I have to choose, I choose to make this video this way. Why not? If I have to choose how to live, I choose to live wealthy, to live prosperous, to live abundant, to live happy, to live wealthy, to live rich. Why not? I have the option, might as well take it. Do not be conformed by the world, but be transformed by transforming your mind. Mind is power. Mind is everything. If you think lack, you act lack, you see lack, you attract lack. If you think prosperity, you see prosperity, you attract prosperity, you speak prosperity, you feel prosperity. Lack of money is the root of all evil. Lack of money is the root of all evil. I heard this quote from Reverend Ike. I also hear it from George Bernard Shaw. How do you spell? Well, if somebody knows how to pronounce it, put it in the comments. But yeah, money is great. Money is good. Money is prosperous. Money is great. Money is good. Money is prosperous. I have this prayer by Lowell Fillmore. I'm going to read it to you. You can write it down. First day, the power of God fills my life with glory, adjusting all my problems. Second day, I am not fooled by adverse appearances, for I can see God's love shining through them. Third day, visions of good are leading me into pleasant and prosperous ways, and all my paths are peaceful. Fourth day, my appreciation of God's power and goodness grows larger day by day as my troubles grow smaller. Fifth day, I magnify God by thinking often of the reality of His unbounded love, goodness, power, and wisdom. Sixth day, I look ever toward the light, and the shadow all fall behind me. I look ever toward the light, and the shadow all fall behind me. Seventh day, all dark places are made light through my vision of Christ. It's good to be rich. It's good to be wealthy. It's good to be abundant. It's good to be prosperous. And if you want more preachers, I listen to Johnny Coleman. I listen to Reverend I listen to Miles Monroe. I listen to Lois Fillmore. I listen to Mert Fillmore. Because I know at some point I was ignorant on this information. But I was curious enough to want to know. Because I refuse to believe that I was sent here on earth just to pay bills and die. No! There is so much good things about life that I'm going to experience with money. An abundance of it. A lot of it. I am. What about you? If anything I say doesn't make sense to me or you disagree, it's okay. It's okay. I made this video because I wanted to. Because it was in my heart, because this information to me is positive, because I want to watch this video whenever I'm cleaning, moving around. I want to be able to listen to something positive in the background. So I'm making it for myself. I'm making it for my 9-year-old self and for my 90-year-old self. So if you disagree with everything I say, that's cool, that's fine. Think for yourself. At the end of the day, who you become or don't become is not because of me. It's only because of you. You are the owner, the director, the CEO, the boss, the producer, the mixer of your own life. Let it be in your life as your mind. Let it be. But if anything in this video resonated with you, let me know which part makes sense to you, which part taught you the most, which part educate you the most, which part uplift you the most, which part made you more motivated, more inspired, or more curious to know. And do your own research. You don't have to just cross your, I watched this video 1 hour, I'm educated. No, do your own research. Go on Google, ask questions. Talk to people who are making the type of money you want to make. If you cannot talk to them, look at their interviews. That's what I do. I don't have access to them physically, but I have access to them digitally. So I will educate myself and I will learn. And as I learn, apply and grow and evolve. Money is good. Money is great. God wants me to have a good life. God wants me to live well, live abundantly. John 10:10. John 10:10. So you can have life and have it more abundantly. Abundantly. Another one of my favorite Bible verses is Ephesians 3:20. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly. Exceedingly abundantly. David Stewart once said, faith without corresponding action is dead. This information, if you were receptive to it, it motivated you, it inspired you, it educated you. Take actions that reflect the information that uplift you today. Take corresponding actions that reflect where you want to go, where you want to be. Faith without corresponding action is dead, said David Stewart. Thomas Sowell once says, life does not ask you what color you are. It asks what you can do. Money is great, money is good, money is nice. I welcome money in my life consistently, abundantly, and easily. God wants me to live well, not barely survive. God wants me to live well, not barely survive. God wants me to live well, not barely survive. God wants me to live well, not barely survive.